Hello friends, welcome to my channel English Notes. Today's topic of my notes is Uncle Tom's Cabin as an anti-slavery novel by Harriet Beecher Stowe. So let's start. Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe is one of the most important works of literature in the American canon, influencing both the people of the period it was written as well as modern readers. Was published in 1852. The novel gives readers a contemporary account of the evils of slavery without any of the mythology created after the war to water down the evils of the institution. Throughout the events of the book, Tom becomes the property of three masters. The first two, the Mr. Shelby and the St. Clarice, might be good people, to make it clear that the institution that they practice is evil and that no amount of politeness or kindness can fully redeem them. Tom's third master, Simon Legree, in contrast to Mr. Shelby and the St. Clarice, is incredibly cruel and demonstrates the full evil and brutality of slavery. Tom's loving and forgiving nature act as a contrast to Legree in humanity and thus fully highlights the evil of slavery to the reader. It is also worth noting that almost all the slaves are portrayed with many positive aspects that paint them in a positive light without causing them to lose any complexity as characters. Eliza, for example, exemplified personal strength and bravery during personal tragedy. The narrative drive of Stowe's classic novel is often overlooked in the heat of the controversies surrounding its anti-slavery sentiments. In fact, it is a compelling adventure story with richly drawn characters and has earned a place in both literary and American history. Stowe's puritanical religious beliefs shows up in the novel's final overarching theme, the, the exploration of the nature of Christianity and how Christian theology is fundamentally incompatible with slavery. Upon meeting Harriet Beecher Stowe for the first time, Abraham Lincoln reportedly said, "So this is the little lady who made this big war." Stowe was little under 5 feet tall, but what she lacked in height she made up for in influence and success, until Tom's Cabin became one of the most widely read and deeply penetrating books of its time. It sold hundreds of thousands of copies and was translated into numerous languages. Many historians have credited the novel with contributing to the outbreak of the Civil War. The daughter of an eminent New England preacher, Stowe was born into a family of eccentric, intelligent people. As a child, she learned Latin and wrote a children's geography book, both before she was 10 years old. Throughout her life, she remained deeply involved in religious movements, feminist causes, and the most divisive political and moral issue of her time, the abolition of slavery. Stowe grew up in the Northeast but lived for a time in Cincinnati, which enabled her to see both sides of the slavery debates without losing her abolitionist perspectives. Cincinnati was evenly split for and against abolition, and Stowe wrote satirical pieces on the subject of several local papers there. She often wrote pieces under pseudonyms and with contrasting style, and one can see a similar attention to voice in Uncle Tom's Cabin, in which dialects and patterns of speech contrast among characters. Though Stowe absorbed a great deal of information about slavery during her Cincinnati years, she nonetheless conducted extensive research before writing Uncle Tom's Cabin. She wrote to Frederick Douglass and others for help in creating a realistic picture of slavery in the Deep South. Her black cook and household servants also helped by telling her stories of their slave days. Stowe's main goal with Uncle Tom's Cabin was to convince her large northern readership of the necessity of ending slavery. Most immediately, the novel served as a response to the passage of Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, which made it illegal to give aid or assistance to a runaway slave. Under this legislation, Southern slaves who escaped to the north had to flee to Canada in order to find real freedom. With her book, Stowe created a sort of expose that revealed the horror of Southern slavery to people in the north. Her radical position on race relations, though, was informed by a religiosity, deep religiosity. Stowe continually emphasized the importance of Christian love in eradicating oppression. She also works in her feminist beliefs, showing women as equal to men in intelligence, bravery, and spiritual strength. Indeed, women dominate the book's moral code, proving vital advisor to their husbands, who often need help in seeing through convention the popular opinion. Uncle Tom's Cabin was published in episode in the National Era in 1851 and 1852, then published in its entirety on March 20, 1852. It sold 10,000 copies in its first week and 3 lakh by the end of the year, astronomical numbers for the mid-19th century. Today, analysis of both the book's conception and reception proves helpful in our understanding of the Civil War era. Within the text itself, the readers find insight into the mind of the Christian feminist abolitionist. For example, in the arguments Stowe uses, the reader receives a glimpse into the detail of the slavery debate. Looking beyond the text to its impact on its society, the reader gains an understanding of the historical forces contributing to the outbreak of war. Published in 1852, Uncle Tom's Cabin inflamed the rising tensions between the North and South. This novel significantly changed the views of natural Northerners in favor of abolishing slavery. Its poignant story brought home to them their responsibility to end such a horrific system. In addition, it was responsible for galvanizing the abolitionist movement. By shaping public opinion, Uncle Tom's Cabin contributed to the political stalemate between the North and South, leading to secession and the Civil War. Finally, in 1865, the tragedy of slavery ended with the passage of the 13th Amendment, abolishing slavery. Although they would have a long road ahead, the door was finally opened for blacks to gain the rights of the full citizenship. So friends, this is my notes on Uncle Tom's Cabin as an anti-slavery novel. I hope you like it. If you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe. And please don't forget to press the bell icon for new video notification. Thank you.